Hi, everyone.
Hi, welcome. This is our
And welcome. We are the Rustbelt
podcast.
Hippies.
Um,
Yo. So I'm Larissa. I'm from Cleveland. And you are?
I am Christina, and I am from Detroit, well, Metro Detroit area. Yeah, we're the Rust Belt Hippies, and this is our second podcast.
One. And we are here to talk to you about knitting. Well, okay, it's a knitcast, right?
Yeah, Knitcast, knitting podcast is what the cool kids call it.
Yeah.
We're gonna call it a Knitcast.
Um, so yeah, mostly knitting, some dyeing, some other making. I have some sewing content today, so
Some general keeping our children alive.
yeah,
It's that kind of stuff.
we tend to do that.
Yeah, we try.
All right. So, um, today I'm gonna try to say like a lot less.
Okay. I'm going to try and say super a lot less. I didn't realize until I edited last month, or we did in October, the last podcast that I say super a lot.
De-duper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we would start off with finished objects, but I don't have any.
You do have some. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, I just put them on my feet. You have these beautiful BFL socks that you made for me for my birthday.
Did. How are they holding up?
Really well. They're so cozy. The color blows out, of course, as soon as I get it up close,
Yeah.
but I really love them. They fit so well, and I just love you for making me socks. So sweet. I cried when I got them in the mail.
I tried. It's so tough to make socks for people when I'm like, what's your shoe size? No reason. Don't worry about why.
Did you ask me? I don't even remember that.
A long time ago I did. And
Oh, okay.
I banked that information, hoping that people forget that I asked them.
You did well because I don't even remember discussing shoe size at any point.
Yeah. So I bought some superwash BFL nylon yarn just from a big box undyed yarn supplier
Hmm.
for colorway development, but I mostly use them as yarn mops to clean up extraneous dye materials when I'm dyeing. Because like when I speckle stuff or whatever, or if something is like not exhausting all the way, there's dye left over, I just put some yarn in the pot or use it as a rag to clean up. And they honestly end up being like some of my favorites, but they're obviously not able to be created. So
Yeah.
anyway,
I've done that a couple times too, and then I was like, is this a terrible use of yarn? I don't know. Should I never tell people that I do this? But I'm like, there's color left. Why am I going to waste it?
I know. Well, the fact that I have a sock machine makes it way easier because
Yeah.
I like to make socks as gifts now because I can. Um, so yeah, that's what I do. I mean, I could have made you some non-superwash socks, but I don't know. I just wanted you to have one of those. I wanted you to see that yarn.
Yeah, I
Honestly.
really like it. It's really nice. It feels like super sturdy, and they haven't really stretched out or anything. And I've worn them like 6 times probably since you sent them to me.
That one knits up at a super tight gauge, which is nice. Though it like really affects the row gauge, so you have to like. There's a lot of ones that are pretty similar row gauge wise. So if you know somebody has a size 9 foot, you're like, oh, that's like whatever, however many rows, but you have to add like 10 rows to this. So that was a learning curve. But anyway, that's the only thing that either of us have finished this month.
I do have one thing.
Oh,
this is the Snuggle is a real cowl. I made this for my husband. He is in dire need of like a scarf, but I don't love traditional scarves because I don't feel like they ever fit well or they're constantly falling off. So I prefer cowls. So I kind of talked him into making a cowl. I haven't blocked this yet. I really need to, but I finished this last week actually. And go ahead.
Has he worn it?
No, not yet. It's been sitting up folded for a little while. I dyed this with my yarn, I knit it with my yarn and your yarn. So the blue is your Tempest colorway. The gray is mine. This is in DK weight. It's a double-walled cowl. So got ribbing on the edges. And then this is also one of my colorways. It's black bean dye that I speckled with onion skins. And what did I want to name it? Antiques Roadshow, because it's got a nice patina on it. So I'm going to definitely dye some more of this. But this was like yarn I have been saving for a couple of years to make him a hat with, and I never have. So I was like, I'm going to use it on your cowl instead. And I really like it a lot. I want to make myself one. I want to make Margot one. They're really cozy.
Yeah.
Put it on. I haven't blocked it yet. I need to get around to that. The designer is Maxime Cyr. He's, I think he's from Canada. I think he's a Canadian designer. The pattern was really beautifully done. I really liked it a lot. And it has like a drawstring up top. Somebody had suggested to me that I should leave a channel in the bottom ribbing and put another drawstring down there. And I had already Kitchenered the whole thing off. And I was like, I don't really want to undo like 150 stitches worth of Kitchener. So I didn't do it. But I think the next one I make for Margot, I probably will. So I'm really happy with it, though. I really like it a lot.
Yeah. Scotty doesn't like to wear scarves, even when it's like 17 degrees outside.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to make him a cowl of some kind.
Yeah.
Like, Jason probably could use something around his neck, too, because he doesn't have anything either. So, eventually.
It's a good one. I would suggest it for sure. I think the pattern was like $8 maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm going to like knit a ton of them. It's like a heavy duty cowl. You could go to Siberia in this and stay perfectly warm. Not that I've been to Siberia, but you know.
Field trip.
That is my only FL. I have nothing else.
Yeah.
It just hasn't been time.
Well, I can mention what I'm wearing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I made this 2 years ago. This pattern is called Silver Stag. It's a drops free pattern. I'll show you this thing. Got some reindeer action, sleeve detail. It doesn't have any short row shaping back here, so I'm constantly doing this to it. I made it in Quince & Company Chickadee. And the green is called Boreal, and then the white is the undyed egret colorway. It pills like crazy.
Really?
It just never really looks particularly nice enough to wear out of the house, but I love it anyway.
What is the Chickadee yarn made up of? Is it just merino, or I know most of the Quince & Co stuff is non-superwash.
Yeah, it's non-superwash. I don't know if it's merino or not.
I think it's all American wool too, but I'm not
it's
sure.
American wool, but I don't know if it's merino. I don't think it says. But it's very soft, like merino. Be surprised if it. You know what? I don't know. I would have to look specifically, but it's like they say it's a sport / DK weight. I would call it more of a DK.
Okay.
But yep, it's all American, non-superwash.
And they have good prices on their wool too.
Yeah. But just know that it pills like crazy.
Yeah. Side effects.
Yeah. Of soft wool.
Right.
So that's that on the things that are in their finished form podcasted. But I started this November 1st.
Okay.
This is the Luftful sweater by Elisabeth Judith, or probably Judith. She's from Denmark, I think.
I think so too.
It is a fingering weight pattern. It's a drop shoulder construction. I'm knitting this in my yet to be released BFL mohair that's milled in a mill in Michigan. So it's locally made. I think the actual wool was American grown. So I'm doing that. I tried to finish it in a month to participate in NaNis Wemo, which is National Knit a Sweater in a Month. I didn't make it, but I got significant progress made on it, so it'll probably be done by Christmas at this rate. So I'm a little bit into the first sleeve, and I probably still have a tiny bit of whatever to do around the neck. I did make one modification. I'm doing a high-low split hem. I just like the way that ends up fitting me because I have several shirts that are kind of constructed like this and with the same like ease and length and everything. So I'm really enjoying it. It's pretty simple. Do I need to mention anything else about that pattern? Did I forget?
Do you enjoy knitting it so far? How is the pattern? Is it easy to memorize?
It is, yeah. It's just it's like an 8-stitch repeat, 2 of which are the rows that you do the air hole pattern on. So it's easy to memorize. You just go around and around, and yeah, it was easy to pick up stitches for the sleeves. But yeah, otherwise I'm liking the yarn. It's lovely. I can't wait to release it. That's the only thing that I've been hand knitting, like literally, since last time. But I do have some sock machine things that I need to finish.
Yeah. You have a lot of them, it looks like.
I have 4 here, and I need to make 4 more, and that should conclude my Christmas gifts. So I ended up buying, I had never knit or made anything on the sock machine with Patton's Croy yarn. So the last time I was at Joann's, well, a couple times ago, I picked up some. I think it ends up being more of a sport weight, but this is like no joke fabric.
That's good.
I don't think anybody could put a hole in this if they tried.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just have to Kitchener the toes up across the front and then leave in a couple of ends, but I'm making, these 2 are Patton's Croy, and then these are this gray and the green is Blacker Yarns Mohair Blends, and then this undyed here is, it's my my high twist merino yarn, the heel and the toe, and then I'm going to hand knit the cuff. I'm going to do 1x1 ribbing because these are supposed to be Okanagan socks for Jason, but the mohair blends yarn is so grabby and like rustic that I really struggled to get a tight gauge for it. So it was just too loose for socks. So I did it on my sock machine. The Okanagan pattern has like ribbing up the leg and up on the top of the foot, or no, maybe not on the top of the foot, but it has like ribbing across the instep here, and it's got like a flap and gusset heel, but I just did the stripes and whatnot. So these 3 actually will be for Jason for Christmas, but he doesn't know that.
I love the white contrast for the toes and heels. It's really cute.
I love that too. You think it's not going to look that cute, and then you do it, and you're like, oh my god, that's the cutest thing.
Yeah.
And then this one will be also a gift for my second family, basically. I basically grew up in their house. This will be for Joe. This is that same BFL nylon base.
Oh.
But I dyed it in the colorway, one of my colorways, A Girl Has No Name. So it's like a mint base with yellow and black speckles on it. So yeah, just gotta Kitchener up the feetses on those. So yeah, that's it for my whips. I have been trying. I've been working so hard on that sweater, and I just didn't finish it yet.
Yeah. It's hard when you focus so much attention on one thing and then you don't get it done in the time you want it to, but then like other things don't get done either. But it's also the holiday season, which does not help either. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on.
What do you got?
So I have, let's see. I have a couple of things. I am doing a test knit for Annie from Boho Chic Fibers. I have posted it a couple of times in our Vlogmas videos, which For anyone that doesn't know, probably do, we've posted more Vlogmas videos than we have normal podcasts, but we've been doing Vlogmas, so we've been tag teaming it. Larissa will take a day, and then I will take a day, and it has made it much easier than if we were to do it by ourselves every day of the month.
I don't know how people do it every day.
No. Or people have like 20-minute videos every day, and I'm like, I'm struggling for 5 minutes right now.
Yeah. 3.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah. I think although, like, as someone who watches Vlogmas videos, I do enjoy the short ones too, because then you can, like, a lot of people do Vlogmas, so it's nice to just watch some short ones and then go through everybody else's. I'm like 2 days behind now, so I'm sure I have a couple hours worth of Vlogmas to watch.
Yeah.
But it's been fun. I like it. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's been nice to kind of just, I don't know, have a little running commentary, video commentary of the day. I don't do any sound because all you would be able to hear is like my furnace and my children crying. And me yelling at my children. Like, not.
There's very little talking in it because, or if there is, it's when Margot's at school. Otherwise, she'd be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm gonna be in it. Let me be in it, Mar."
Half the time, the baby or Scotty like grabs my phone. I'm like, I'm sorry, I was actually using that for something. Can you not? So it's just silent with some nice music over the top. But it's been fun.
Yeah. Vlogmas is fun. I think it's prepared us a little bit more for doing normal podcasts now too, because we're every day we're editing something, so we're trying to think of something to film, so it gets us a little more into the habit of it.
Yeah. All right. So what do you got?
Oh yes. So back to my test knit. So this is called the Raise Crop. It is all garter stitch with a slip stitch design on the front to look like sun rays, and it's done in bulky weight yarn. So it's been going pretty fast. I've just been also working on other things, so I haven't been able to give it a lot of attention. But I am going to have it done by the end of December because the pattern should come out the beginning of January. I think January 1st is a current date, but it might sometime in January probably. So this, I really like it. I struggled for a while on what color I wanted to do. I wanted to dye something for it, and then I just couldn't figure out what I wanted. So it looks like I'm wearing it. So I eventually just decided to go with white because I don't have anything that's just plain white. Mostly for a reason, because I'll get crap all over it because I'm a slob. But I thought it would be fun to do it in white, and then if I do stain it, then I can always over dye it with like coffee or something a little bit darker that, you know, will ideally hide stains. So that's what I have so far.
I love it. I love it in white.
Yeah, I thought it would be nice. It's neutral. I could wear it with anything, really. So I can't show you like a finished picture of it yet. She's posted a picture of herself like wearing it from the chest up on her Instagram account, but I don't think she's posted a finished photo of it yet, an entire finished photo of it yet. So I can't show that once it's done until the date.
What yarn are you using?
This is a bulky weight yarn that I have in my shop that I've dyed. I have a couple dyed skeins of it in my shop. And I plan on making some kits to sell too. I think I'm doing the size 4, which is a 46-inch bust. And I think it calls for like 6.5 skeins. So it's like just under 800 yards of yarn. So it's cropped, so you can make it as long as you want it. Obviously, you can add more yardage on, but it's really not that much yarn at all. No. And the yarn sheet suggested for it, I don't remember what it's called, but it's a bulky or a heavy worsted weight yarn. But the skeins come with like 400 or 500 yards in a skein. So like in the suggested yarn, you only need like 2 skeins for it, and that's it. They're really beautiful, but I wanted to do a sample with my own yarn, and then that way I can do a kit for it.
Yeah.
Which leads me to talking to you about your By the Campfire. Well, not yours, but it's knit up in your yarn, but the design that was knit up in your yarn. If you want to talk about it.
Yeah, I do. So I reached out to Rachel Ilsley, who is Unwind Knitwear on Instagram. without wanting to provide yarn for her if she wanted to use it to design a pattern. So she did. And she released yesterday the By the Campfire. It's a cardigan kind of thing. It's color work. It's 3 colors, and she knit it in my BFLDK yarn. She used pitch, pewter, and Patronus, which is like an almost black, a mid-level gray, and then like a off-white with gray and brown tones, which we can put a picture up, I think. I think we can figure out how to do that.
Yeah, I can do that. I'm actually, so I don't mean to interrupt you. I apologize. But it looks like the cardigan pattern is inspired by those, I don't know if this is the correct term for them, but like the Mexican or the South American
Southwestern
blankets.
Yeah,
Southwestern blankets. Thank you.
That's what I said to her when she first showed me the picture of what she was working on. That's the exact thing I said. It looks like a Southwest blanket, and she had to Google it to know what I was talking about. But it's beautiful.
They kind of look like that a little bit, but it looks like that, but just like in a cozy cardigan. It's beautiful.
Love it so much. So I am offering kits in my shop for the same yarn, because you do have to steek it. So it's worked. You start like here at this side seam, and then you work from the like armhole in, and then from the armhole down this way, and around this way. So at the bottom, you will end up needing to like steek open here and then do your hem.
Interesting.
So your yarn needs to be non-superwash. You are not going to want to steek superwash yarn unless you're going to like machine steek it with your sewing machine. So I sell non-superwash yarn. So I'm offering 3 kits in the shop right now. Well, 3 colorway kits that are like already dyed. And then I have a dyed to order option too. So I'll show you colorway options. This is the original. It's the pitch, pewter, and Patronus. I wish you could see the actual nuance of this, because it just looks white, but it's not. Anyway, this is the original colorway combination. And then this is another one. You can see this. This is Labradorite, Terracotta, and Patronus. And then the third one is Berry, Peach, and Patronus. So when you choose 3 colors, you want to make sure they all contrast each other enough to be able to see them, because in the pattern, they're all going to be mixed with each other. It's not going to be just 2 of them. They're all going to be 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3.
It's like sort of faded, and then there's the lighter strip with the color work in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, good contrasting colors would be ideal for it.
Yes. So I got that going on. So, and if you want to message me and ask me to put the color combination together and take a picture of it and send it to you, I'll do that. So you can see what stuff looks like together. But I have about 1 million ideas, so.
It's hard limiting it to just a few options when you put it up to sell, because there are lots of things you could do, or lots of colors that other people.
I know. I have like 75 ideas, and I want to make one, and I have no idea what I want to do.
Yeah.
But the one last thing I want to mention is Rachel has offered discount codes if you buy a kit through Fuzzy Green Fibers. She offered 3 coupon codes to get the pattern for free through Ravelry. 2 of them have already sold, so there's 1 left to get it for free. And then after that, if you buy a kit from me, you will get a coupon code to get the pattern 50% off.
Wow.
So, nice. Yes. If you're
and that just came out yesterday, right?
Yesterday,
December the 6th.
Yeah.
Today's the 7th, so yesterday the 6th.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, that's what's going on with that pattern. I love it. Please knit one because I want to see 700 different color combinations.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
So pretty. Oh my god.
Yeah.
No.
I'm so blinky today, by the way. I put makeup on this morning and I don't usually wear it, and so now my eyes are like, what are you doing to me?
They're protesting.
Yeah, basically. I do have one more whip thing that I could talk about if we want,
Okay.
and then we can move on to the next subject. I have mentioned it a couple times before in like other episodes or online, but I also do another fiber art that's called null binding, and I still offer like custom slots for it in my Etsy shop. So I am null binding right now in order for a friend. She's not like a person that I know in real life, but she has ordered from me for like the past couple of years. So she's a very loyal customer and I enjoy her very much. She's very kind. So she has sent me yarn. I'm doing 2 pairs of socks and a tall pointy hat for her. She does reenactment as well. So these are presumably for Viking reenactment that she's using it. So I'm making her husband a pair of socks right now. These are size 10 men's socks. So I like to work my socks, my null binding socks from the bottom up, and you go around and around and around, and then you make a heel, and then you go around and around and around, and then you kind of like go up for the leg. It's very similar to how knitted socks are made in a lot of instances. So I have that pair for her husband that I'm doing, and these are the toes that I started up last night for her socks, and her tall pointy hat. It looks a little vulgar right now, but once I get it down. So I'm hoping to get all of this finished this week. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's the only other thing that I'm working on right now. I've been null binding and watching a Turkish melodrama, and it's been a good week.
Yeah. I know. Like since we last podcasted, I feel like I watched Peaky Blinders in its entirety.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's so good though. I really enjoy it.
It's really good.
You're watching The Crown right now still?
Yes.
Done. I haven't watched the new season of it yet, so I will presumably start that at some point. Nick would like to watch The Crown as well, but I've already watched like the first 2 seasons of it, so we might restart it so he can watch it and then catch up. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't mind a rewatch.
Yeah. I'm watching the show that I'm watching. It's being taken off of Netflix on Christmas Day. So it's called Kurtsayit Vishura, and it's a Turkish melodrama that's set during the Russian Revolution. So it's set between St. Petersburg, Petrograd, and the Crimea, and then it will go to Istanbul. And it's really beautifully made. The costuming is wonderful. The production value is wonderful. They're like 45-minute to hour-long episodes, but there's 48 of them. So I have to like power watch this before it's off on Christmas Day.
That's a lot.
I'm gonna finish it. So it's been really good though. I like it a lot.
So let's mention the Ravelry group.
Yes.
I don't know.
I've not talked much about the KAL that's going on either. We probably should talk about that a little bit.
I don't know that there's a ton new going on right now in the Ravelry group, but we do have an ongoing natural sock knit along. The one rule is just use non-superwash nylon-free yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Do whatever you want. And that goes from whenever we started it. I don't remember when we started it.
November 1st was our like start date.
Okay. Well, we started it then, and then it's going through February 1st.
Right.
So there will be prizes or a prize, whatever. I don't know. We'll do whatever we feel like.
Yeah, we'll see how many people enter into it, and then we can determine prizes from there.
Yeah. So that's going on, and I wanted to mention the knit that we have lined up next.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Color Craze knit along. I'm going to use my Advent minis to do mine. And are you going to do the same?
Yeah, I am. So Larissa and I both bought the same yarn advent calendar this year from Hook and Light, and it's all naturally dyed 10-gram mini skeins, and it's quite a few of them. It's 25 days worth, so 250 grams of yarn. So we were trying to come up with, well, you came up with it actually, patterns that would be good to use yarn advents, because a lot of people have them this year, and it's a good time to, everyone will presumably be done by Christmas Day, so everything will be opened. So we're going to do the color Craze shawl. That will be our next Cal.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I want to cast on Christmas Day.
That's my goal too.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll do a ton on Christmas Day, but I'll probably get it started. I'll probably be deciding by the end of my advent exactly which colors I want to do and in which order, but I want to do a Christmas Day cast on, and it might as well be that.
Right.
And I don't know how long we want to do that. It can probably be a longer term project.
It's a shawl. Shawls don't necessarily go very fast.
No, I like having a shawl though, just as like they're pretty, like, you don't have to think about them too terribly much, which is like why, and they're just kind of like art. It's kind of like coloring.
And this one has, like, I think brioche in it and garter stitch and maybe some eyelets, so it's like you do a section with one color and then the next section of stitching is different stitches, different color.
Anyway, is there anything else going on in the Revelry group that I forgot?
We started a thread about zero waste or less waste tips and tricks that people have. Yeah. But I think that's the last thing that we put in.
Okay. Well, we can use that as a segue.
Yeah.
Into the demerits and gold stars. So we have hippie demerits and hippie gold stars. Do you have a demerit for us this week?
Yes, my demerit. I think it's just kind of the same thing that you had last month, but like I realized the other day I was opening yogurt for my daughter, and I realized how many things I was throwing away in the process of just opening yogurt and granola for her. I was just like, oh, there's packaging from this one, and there's a foil lid, and here's this, and like all these things that I'm throwing away just to get her a freaking snack. So I have not been very good at like buying in bulk or buying things. Well, I buy the wee yogurt, so it comes in a glass jar that I can reuse. So I've got that going for me. But really, I feel like there's just so much that I'm throwing away snack wise whenever I get stuff ready for her, and it bums me out.
It's a constant struggle with little kids.
Yeah.
But there's something I want to try, and that was trying to make my own homemade yogurt in
me too.
In my Instant Pot, because it has a yogurt button. Because Scotty used to eat just plain, like unflavored goat's milk yogurt that you can get at like Trader Joe's, or we have it at the grocery store here. But he hasn't really liked that anymore. He's 4 now. He just had his birthday. But he has liked the ones that have some fruit in them. So I might try to make my own and put a little bit of fresh fruit in them. We'll see.
Yeah, it's hard with them because sometimes, like, even if the packaging doesn't look the same, they're not interested in it at all. And that's so depressing.
Like, Mommy, this is a different one. You can't give me a different one. I want the same one.
Right. Yeah, I know. They're the same problem, but little kids get so fixated on that kind of stuff. So
they do.
Yeah. Anyway, do you have a gold star this week?
I do. So I have been trying to reduce waste, and I think I've successfully done so. I bought some fabric. It's cotton flannel fabric, and I've made some wipes instead of using paper towels to clean up my children after they eat, because they're disgusting after they eat. I have to clean up their hands and their faces and the table and the chair and the floor every time. I was going through paper towels like crazy. So I bought some flannel. I bought 1 yard of 8 different fabrics, and I didn't measure anything. I just folded it in half a couple times, and I ended up with like 16 rectangles per yard. So it was really easy. I didn't do anything except for cut it haphazardly. And I also bought a serger, which may not be super green of me to buy a machine, but I really, really wanted one now I want to make my own clothes.
Mm-hmm.
That's another topic, but anyway.
It's initially maybe not the most green thing, buying a sewing machine. However, it will lead to greener pastures.
Yes. So I got some holiday winter, and then I got a bunch of ones with kitties on them because Des really loves kitties. So
those are cute.
They're great. If you can do something like this, it interests you, I recommend it. Because I just have a basket under the sink that I put like towels and rags in for like the kitchen, I mean. And now I'm just throwing these in there too. I'm gonna go in the laundry with all of the rags and stuff. I feel better about it.
Gold star.
Yay.
We had a bunch of those. My mom made a bunch for me when Margot was born, and she made me a bunch of flannel nursing pads. So we had a ton of them, and then when we moved in with my grandmother, we kind of like put all that away and to like disposable napkins, which I don't love. I'd much rather do the wash than have to take out the trash every day.
Yeah, when you don't have like a home field advantage, it's tough to do things like that. Like I cloth diapered my first kid, and I'm not doing my second kid. I could have, but the washing routine was not working for me. Anyway, I can't imagine what it would be like to move into somebody's house who has pre-established routines and all that.
Yeah, and she's 79, so she has very established routines and is not interested in moving on from those at all. Everything is kind of like my granny's rules, but that's okay. You know, she's 79. It's her house. We live here with her, and it's all right.
I do have one more thing to show. I guess this could have gone in whips, but it's going to be a sewing project. I'm going to make my little one a little, I guess you could call it a quilt. I'm going to sandwich some fabrics and some batting together and put a border on it and call it a day. But he really likes kitties, like I mentioned before, and I found this the best fabric I've ever seen in my whole life.
It's really cute.
On the sun Etsy.
Cat's wearing sweaters. He's gonna love it.
Yes, and I just got some like coordinating plaid, like blue and green, black and white to go with it. And I just got some cotton batting. So it's all gonna be cotton except for the, what is it called?
The binding.
Yeah, the binding.
Glitter binding on it?
I'm just gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
I just bought 6 yards of it. It's like polyester fleece or whatever.
Yeah. This is one that I did last year for Margot the same way, but I just folded it over and top stitched it, and then did a line like straight down the middle and a couple across, just so that it doesn't like come apart in the wash or anything. So you're not like having to like put it back into place.
I'll probably have to do several. I was just gonna do some straight line quilting.
Yeah.
The batting says a maximum of 8 to 10 inches apart, so I'm probably just gonna do every, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches. I'll do a line just to hold everything together, and so it doesn't fall apart on the inside and end up super lumpy. But
yeah,
for Des,
that'll be nice. It'll be something you can keep for a long time, and
and it's really soft because it is also flannel. Because my oldest has a blanket that has Batman on it, but it's just one of those like polyester, like really soft, fuzzy ones. But he it's not really like a lovey for him. He doesn't use it as a blanket, but it has like little straps on it that he can use it as cape, and he like pretends it's his magic carpet. He pretends it's like a cake. He like wads it up, or he'll like throw it and pretend it's slime from Ghostbusters. So yeah, I want Des to have one too.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to be doing sewing machine wise this month. What else do we have?
I have a cast on that I haven't started yet, obviously, but it's something that I'm like trying to figure out if I can finish before Christmas. Well, cast on and finish by Christmas. Who am I kidding? I don't know. But for anyone that follows Ponder and Fly,
Molly.
She's wonderful. I love watching her podcast. She's so funny. Is doing a make along right now, but she has cast on the Betty and Judy Lodge sweater, or it's Judy and Betty Lodge sweater. I don't remember which order the names are in, but it's by Poison Girls, and it's a very like 1940s like puff sleeve. It's got holly color work on it, and it's super cute. A worsted weight sweater, and I've been wondering about, can I get that done? It's worsted weight, so should presumably go very quickly. But I think it's knit flat, which would be my downfall. I'm not. If it's in the round, I can whip something out in like 2 weeks. But if it's knit flat, I'm like, oh, this will be done in 5 years from now. So I have some yarn that I've picked out for that though. So again, this is some clearance yarn that I got at Joann's a couple months ago. I got their pure wool. They're non-superwash. They're worsted weight. It's this patent classic wool worsted. And I think I'm going to make it out of that. And maybe with that as my contrast color. So I got these for like $2.50, I think, a piece. So this sweater, whenever I cast it on, should cost like less than $20 to make, which would be really nice. And it's all wool and it's non-superwash, which is cool. So that's the thing I'm thinking about casting on right now. Like, how can I fit it into everything else?
I hope you do, because I want to see it. But
I really wanted a Christmas cast on, or like a Christmas sweater to be ready by the holidays this year, and we'll see. I already don't sleep as it is, so I might as well cast it on, right?
Children.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring up attempting to do Stashdown.
Yes.
We should make a thread on Ravelry about that, but I started to make a list of all the things that I need to finish, things that I have the yarn for, things that I want to knit for our planned knit-alongs, things that I might have sample knitters do for me because I need to outsource some of this because it's getting too much. And then like little things that I need to do, like Jason needs a new hat, and I have yarn for a DK weight shawl. I need to probably make a cowl for Scotty. Things that I want to do for holidays for next year, like a Halloween sweater and a Christmas sweater. Oh, and I need to make new stockings because Desi doesn't have a handmade stocking. He has a sack of crap here. Anyway, I have enough yarn to not buy one more thing for the rest of the year.
That's how I feel too. It's the same way.
This is going to be my last purchase. I just got this. I'm going to make a weekender sweater from some Green Mountain Spinnery weekend wool. This is the color white chestnut. It's amazing, and I can't wait to make it. But this is, aside from like gift stock yarn for the sock machine, I don't really need to buy anything. So I think the Stashdown rules are very generous. Doable.
Yeah. Well, the one that we were going to follow, I pulled it up on my phone. It's it's one we're going to kind of use as a baseline. It's Brown Girl Knits on Instagram has posted it, and it's Stashdown 2020. So rule number 1, inventory your yarn before January 1st. Number 2, pick patterns to go with your yarn and make a list. Number 3, knit from that list all year, which you already have your list, so you are on the right track. Number 4, you get $30 a month for new yarn. Use it all at one time or break it up. $30 is pretty generous. So, I mean,
if you think about it for the year, it's $360.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. And I don't usually buy yarn every month, or if I trade a lot, so I don't really put out a lot of money for it. Is that cheating? I should probably stop trading.
Well, if you trade, none is coming in.
Right. Something is also going out. Yeah. So, yeah. Rule number 5, you get 2 deal breakers for the year just in case your willpower gives out. So they're very generous rules. I think it would be pretty easy to follow. I just like uploaded all of my yarn to my stash on Ravelry, which helps me know what I have and think about what I'm going to make with stuff while I'm doing it. So I've started like pulling out empty project bags and putting yarn in there and a little note with like what I want to make with that yarn in case I forget. So that way it's like ready to go, and when I need something, I can ideally have the willpower to just go right to it and not buy something new.
Yeah. I think it's very doable as long as we're not like, oh my God, somebody take my money because I saw something pretty. So let's all do it together, hippies.
Yeah. We'll make a thread about it. We'll do it.
Indeed. Oh, I don't know if we want to do a shop news segment, but I just have,
Go ahead.
aside from the kits for the By the Campfire sweater, I just have a couple of Christmas colorways or holiday, whatever, holiday colorways. This one is birthday tree because my oldest's birthday is December 4th, and we always get our Christmas tree on that day. So it's like color of a Christmas tree and then funfetti speckles. I have it on a couple bases.
Very cute.
Very cute. And then this is Mrs. Claus mistletoe, kind of like a sultry red with some darker green and then some lighter green speckles in there. They always get hidden. Never looks like it's very speckled. But
Yeah, especially when it's twisted up, you can't really see it. But once it's all laid out, then it's good.
There's a good amount of speckles in there. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically all the new stuff I've done in the shop is the holiday yarns and the DK kits.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going on with me.
Cool.
And then you did your extra video. Do you have anything since then?
I don't. I have not been dyeing very much lately. I've been trying to keep the holidays, like, I've been trying not to dye and just work on knitting. And so I run the annual Botanicals monthly dye yarn and charm club that I dye up. I don't think I'm going to do that again until February, so I'll have a little bit of a break. And I already have an idea in mind for what I want to use for February. So for the next like 2 month and a half, 2 months, whatever, I'm going to just knit and not worry about dyeing for a little bit and just have what I have, and that's it. So.
Yeah, this is the last thing I'm doing for the year. If I get dyed to order orders for the By the Campfire, I'll do those. But that's all until further notice. Just personal news. We're going to be embarking on building a house this year, so it's going to take up a lot of our free time. I have a babysitter come a couple hours a week, but I have a feeling it's going to be the babysitter's here. We need to meet with the builder for X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting, but it's going to probably reduce my dyeing time.
Yeah.
That's
you have a lot ready right now, though, because we have a show in October. So
I have a ton of stock still. Every time I have a bunch of orders come in, and then I still look at my inventory, I'm like, I have so much because I just filled all these orders, and there's still just this mountain of yarn.
Yeah.
But I have one last announcement. Mm-hmm. I will be doing a little indie Dyer pop-up thing in Cleveland. It's at the Hildebrant building on December 5th from 1 to 3 p.m. Superfine Yarn Company is hosting it. I'm pulling it open right now. It's going to be me, Superfine Yarn Company, Arrowhead Fibers, Cornbread and Honey, Hannah Made It, and Tina's Twisted Fibers will all be there. Like I said, December 5th from 1 to 3.
No,
that's
not 5th.
15th. I'm sorry. December 15th from 1 to 3 on Sunday. It's at the Hildebrant Provisions Company building. So if you're in the Cleveland area, come see us. We'll have like a small selection of stuff to peddle. But yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah, that'll be cool. And this is like your second time vending at a physical like craft show pop-up type thing. So yeah. That's more exciting too.
Yeah, and I've done it before, and it's a smaller scale, so I'm not too terribly anxious about it this time. I was losing my mind for the show in October.
Yeah.
So other than that, do we have anything else to add?
I don't think so.
Okay. We can wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll make the thread for the Stashdown 2020 on the Ravelry group, and everybody follow along for more Vlogmas videos because we still have a lot of days left in December. So, yeah, I think that's it.
All right.
All right.
Peace and love, hippies.
Yep. I'll insert some like flowers or like, something hippie-ish here.